So I've got 2 more poems for you. Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
Thank you. And this first one is called Tony Steinberg, brave 7th grade Viking warrior. Have you ever seen a Viking ship made out of popsicle sticks and balsa wood? Coils of brown thread for the ropes. Oars made out of, what are those? Chopsticks. And an authentic red and yellow sail made from a ripped piece of a little baby brother's footy pajamas? I have. He died with his sword in his hand, and so went straight to heaven. The Vikings often buried their bravest warriors in ships, or set them adrift and on fire, a floating island of flame, the soul of the brave warrior rising slowly with the smoke. In order to understand life in Scandinavia during the time of the Middle Ages, you have to understand the Viking ship. So here's what I want the class to do. I want you all to build me one miniature Viking ship. You can use whatever materials you want. You've got 6 weeks to complete this assignment, but you have to work together like warriors. These are the projects that I am known for as a history teacher, like the Greek Shield project, or the Marshmallow Catapult project, or the medieval castle of chocolate cake. Actually, that was a disaster. But there was the Egyptian pyramid project. Have you ever seen a family of 4 gathered around a card table, each member of the family holding on to one triangular side of a miniature Egyptian pyramid until the glue finally dried? I haven't either, but Mrs. Steinberg said that it took 90 minutes, and even with the little brother on one side saying, "This is a stupid pyramid, Tony. If I get Mr. Molly next year, my pyramid will be designed in such a way that it will not necessitate that we stand here for 90 minutes while the freaking glue dries." And Tony on the other side saying, "Shut up! Shut up, you stupid, cretinous idiot! If you let go before the glue dries, I will disembowel you with your Sony PlayStation." It was the best family time that they had spent together since Hanukkah. He died with his sword in his hand, and so went straight to heaven. Mr. Molly, if that's true, if a Viking died with his sword in his hand, he went straight to Valhalla, then if you were like an old Viking and you were about to die of old age, could you keep your sword right by your bed? So if you ever felt like, "Uh-oh, I think I'm about to die of old age," you could reach out and grab the sword and still go to Valhalla. Do you think anybody ever, did that? This is an example of one of those questions. If I were a Viking god, I'm not sure I would fall for that. But if I were an old Viking about to die of old age, that's exactly what I would do. You're a genius. He died with his sword in his hand, and so went straight to heaven. Tony Steinberg had been missing from school for 2 months before we finally found out what was wrong. And then the 12 other boys in the class whispered the name of his disease as if you could catch it from saying it too loud. We'd been warned. The head of the middle school had come to class and said, "Tony is going to try to come to school on Friday for a visit, but he's had a rough time. The medication he's taking has made all of his hair fall out, so nobody stared, nobody pointed, nobody laughed." I always said that I liked teaching in a private school because I could talk about God in the classroom and not be breaking the law. And I sure talk about God a lot in the classroom. Yes, in history class, that's easy. Even the Egyptian pyramid project is essentially a spiritual undertaking, but how can you teach math and not believe in a God? A God of perfect geometric space and time, surrounded by archangels and right angles of varying degrees. Such a God would not give cancer to a 13-year-old boy, would not make him lose all of his hair from chemotherapy, totally bald, in a jacket and tie on Friday morning. And I don't just mean Tony Steinberg. Not one single kid in my class had hair that day. Have you ever seen 13 bald-headed 7th graders in jackets and ties, all of them staring at each other, all of them pointing at each other, all of them laughing? I have. And it's a beautiful sight. Almost as striking as 12 7th graders, 1 month later, standing in a circle outside the synagogue, holding hands, heads bowed, surrounding the smoldering remains of the class's miniature Viking ship, which they have set on fire. The soul of the brave warrior rising slowly with the smoke.